They sit upon their thrones, wrapped in gold, clothed in power. Yet beneath the fabric of their rule, their hands tremble. Not because an enemy stands at the gates, but because the voices grow restless. Not because they have lost control, but because they feel it slipping, grain by grain, whisper by whisper. Fear is not just an emotion. For them it is an empire waiting to collapse. They sense it in the silence before the storm, in the way the people glance at one another, in the way questions linger a second too long. And so, in their desperation, they reach for the oldest trick in history. Not wisdom, not unity, not truth, but war. Because nothing silences dissent like the sound of marching feet. Nothing binds a nation like the sight of a common enemy. Nothing keeps a ruler standing like the illusion that without them, everything would fall apart. And so they rise before their people, wearing the mask of certainty, hiding the terror that gnaws at their bones. We must be strong. We must prepare. They are coming for us. And in those 3 sentences, they steal the future from the hands of millions. They forge the weapons of tomorrow's suffering. They write the prologue to another war, another sacrifice, another chapter in the same old story. But when the call to war arrives, will you answer? And if you do, would you like your enemy to do the same? And when you meet on the battlefield, look into your enemy's eyes. See what is staring back at you. The same fear, a reflection of fear, born from being a puppet, from saving someone else's wealth, someone else's power. You do not fight for your freedom. You fight because you protect those who control you. Freedom does not come from war. Freedom does not need to be defended. Freedom is a state of mind. Who is the enemy? Can you name them? Have you seen their face? Or did someone whisper it to you? It does not matter who they are. The name will change. The uniform will differ. The language will be unfamiliar. But the script remains the same. What do they tell you? They threaten your way of life. They must be stopped. They are not like us. And so the powerful delay their reckoning by feeding the people a greater fear. And with ink and steel, they seal their fate. And yours. They call for arms, for sacrifice, for war. Weapons are built. Resources are drained. The people are rallied, not by hope, but by the illusion of survival. You are either with us, or you are against us. And the moment you believe it, the moment you surrender your mind, the war is already won, not by you, but by those who will never step onto the battlefield themselves. And the people listen, because fear, once planted, grows deep. Because fear, once whispered, becomes a roar. And so we march, not for justice, not for truth, but because we were told to, because we forgot to ask, whose fear do we carry? Whose war do we fight? What is called bravery is often just obedience. What is called duty is often just manipulation. What are you fighting for? Your home? Your family? Your freedom? Or for the hands that tighten the chains? Yet what does history whisper back? That fear can grant a fleeting moment of power, but only for a time. That war may silence dissent, but only for a while. That those who ignite the flames often burn within them. For those who believe they can escape their fate by sending others to die in their place, do not stop the tide. They only delay its arrival. And when the tide turns, when the war does not end as promised, when the bodies pile higher than the thrones, when the banners of victory are torn into shrouds, who remains to answer for it? Not those who whispered of threats, not those who signed the decrees, not those who first called for war. No, it is the people, those who fought, those who wept, those who buried the fallen. It is always the people who pay the final price. Look around you. When fear is planted, when voices speak of distant threats, when hands sign deals for weapons unseen, ask yourself, who told you to be afraid? Weapons built will one day be used, and when that day comes, you will not choose where they aim. You will not choose the name of the next enemy. That choice will belong to the next ruler, the one who tells you who to fear. And so the cycle repeats. A new name, a new uniform, a new reason, but the same trembling thrones and the same desperate hands grasping for control. Many believe their leaders are gods. That guidance must come from something beyond, that power flows downward, that we are meant to follow. But the truth is whispered in the quiet corners of existence. God is not a ruler in a palace. God is not a voice in the sky. God is intelligence, creation itself. It does not judge. It does not decree. It does not concern itself with good or evil, for it gave us the only compass we were ever meant to follow: feelings. Through passion, we create. Through emotion, we choose. Through love, through fear, through desire, through grief. We shape reality not by decree, but by what we hold most deeply within us. So ask yourself, whose emotions fuel your choices? Are they yours, or were they given to you? But what if it could be different? What if, when the call to war is made, we listen instead to the silence between the words? What if we ask, whose fear is this? Who profits from my rage? Who tells me that safety is found in blood? For it does not matter who leads the kingdom. The choice is still yours. To act from fear or from courage, to follow hate or to choose something greater. And if every man, every woman chose to act not from fear inherited, not from panic sown by another's hand, but from the courage within, then war would have no voice, then no throne, no crown, no trembling ruler could command destruction in our name.